overall, they're not necessarily unique. So there's three kinds of places to visit in Pakistan.
Mm-hmm.
There's sites of dead people, which is shrines or graveyards.
Ooh.
There's mosques.
Okay.
And then there's just natural beauty, right? You've got the north for that, you've got
Right.
Islamabad for that.
All right, hey guys, we're
Right.
back again with another episode. We've got a super interesting guest here with us today. We're here with Khadija, who is, she is very fond of traveling. She's got her own travel blog that she recently started. It's mixed media. It's Instagram, YouTube, and also a actual blog. One of I haven't looked at actual blogs in a long time, but I looked at this one and it's really unique. It's got a lot about Pakistan, and I'm not going to go too much into what you've done, Khadija, because I want to hear from you. But one of the top posts you have, or I think the first one you see when you open the blog, is about how when your apartment lease ended,
But
you just decided to hit the road and travel
But-
Pakistan. Yes.
but before we begin, guys, make sure to hit
Of
the like and
course.
subscribe button. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. I'm done. I'm tired of begging you guys. For God's sakes, यार वो button है red color का है. Make it white.
Dude,
ठीक है?
I'm tired
There's
of
a bell
hearing
icon.
sawdust.
Press
You
that
guys
as
to do
well.
this too,
Dude.
so...
Yeah, dude, there was legit a time when I used to make fun of YouTubers for begging their subscribers and begging their audience for hitting that subscribe button and all that. But I guess we're one of them now. So, guys, just hit
Yeah,
that subscribe
it
button.
feels
Anyways, guys,
weird.
back to Khadija. Yeah, back to Khadija.
Yes,
What's up?
So tell us, Khadija, how's it going? What's been happening?
So things have been, I don't know, I still can't figure out my quarantine routine.
Oh wow,
I've
you
been
can't. You
working
woke up
on
at 7.
on a few different.
You woke up at 7. That is
Yeah,
figured,
Yeah.
That is more
That's
figured out than all of
exactly
us.
why it's not figured out. It does not match up with quarantine.
I mean, okay, but for context...
But yeah, when you've got stuff to do, then it's hard to stay in bed.
Yeah, but I mean,
But
Khadija, hold
yeah.
up. It's 7 a.m. for you right now. And for context, it was 7 a.m. for Saad yesterday when he went to sleep, right? We were both playing PlayStation
Yeah.
up until his 7 a.m.
So
And
those are the two time zones.
yeah, those are
in
our
the
two
same
time
city.
zones. But also,
time zones.
my point is that our routines are a complete mess. And it's super cool that you're actually waking up at 7. Even if it's just for a
Yeah.
podcast or whatever. That's awesome.
That is.
So back to what I've been up to these days. I've been dabbling a bit in social media marketing. So that started
Ooh.
initially with Drops of Culture. And like Saad, Drops of Culture was supposed to be like an entrepreneurial journey. But it pivoted
Yeah.
a bit, and then we sort of took it just to be a blog. And my entrepreneur part, I'll keep that for another podcast when I'm actually making something out of it.
Sure. Sure.
So Drops of Culture has been a bit of a back burner for I think a month now. But I was really supported by my family and by Shazib and everyone to really go into it and, share stuff. And just yesterday, actually, a friend of my mom's reached out and asked if I have any high-quality pictures from Karachi that I could give to her to print. So that was like a big word of confidence that, we've done something, right, at least.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I mean it's really interesting how you've done Drops of Culture because you touch upon culture in Pakistan, you touch upon just around the world, and you bring it together. I'm looking at the website, and you've got a blog post about just windows themselves, which that's not something anyone would go on themselves and think about, but then you put it out there and you show people that windows themselves they're distinct and they're different.
They are.
Yeah. So we've been traveling as a family since 2006. So every summer we've been traveling outside of Pakistan and in Pakistan as well. But we've done, the main things. We've been to Karachi because our family is there, and we've done the northern areas because everyone does that. But when Drops of Culture, I started it in November, December, I was still going off of the old pictures that I just had lying around and sort of trying to make something out of them.
Okay.
And so, buildings, somehow I've always noticed that I take pictures of buildings, and I've taken pictures of these windows without knowing why I'm doing that. So it was sort of like a backtrack reflection as to what makes these windows stand out as
Interesting.
something to take pictures
Interesting. And
Awesome.
I want to
But,
add on to
yeah.
that. And I want to add on to that window comment. I want to add. It really shows you how architecture, it may be a conscious form of art, but it has a subconscious effect on its viewer and on its and on the person who's experiencing the space. So you did not know why you liked that window, but I'm pretty sure the architects of that era, whoever created that window, they knew exactly what they were doing and they knew how to capture it. But all in all, you were just intrigued and you ended up taking a picture. So it shows you guys architecture
Yeah.
influences spaces, it influences minds, it influences cultures. Continue, Khadija.
I
Yeah.
see the inner architect
And-
in Saad is just beaming right now. Like,
Oh yeah. I don't get to word
Validation.
vomit often. I don't get to word vomit this often.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I've completely lost my train of thought.
oh, I'm
So
sorry.
tricky.
We're gonna
It's all
do
good,
that a
it's all
lot.
yeah, we do that
We-
a lot.
We
So,
either we
windows
go
into
off on
culture.
tangents, we interrupt each other.
Yeah, we do that a lot.
It's all part of the talks. But what's a unique place in Pakistan you've seen? Because I'm sure there are a couple.
Yeah.
So,
That people have.
I mean, places in Pakistan that what I realized is that overall they're not necessarily unique. So there's three kinds of places to visit in Pakistan.
Mm-hmm.
There's sites of dead people, which is shrines or graveyards.
Ooh.
There's mosques.
Okay.
And then there's just natural beauty, right? You've got the north for that, you've got
Right.
Islamabad for that. So when you travel south from Islamabad, it's mostly dead people and mosques.
That's
So it is. So you really need to be anthropological in your thinking if you
Can
want
I-
to go around.
Can I give you
Yeah.
a suggestion?
Sites.
The
Yeah.
next time someone asks you that, you should say it in the opposite order. So you start out with natural beauty, mountains, hills, valleys, and then you've
That's-
got,
that's
you
a
know,
good point.
mosques, which are like architectural wonders, and then you just got like places where people
Yeah.
have died. Which, I
People
mean,
have died and
they are
we,
beautiful
symbolize.
shrines, but
Yeah.
it's crazy to think
But I
that
think
they're a big
one
deal.
of the most unexpected places. So there's this mosque in a tiny rural town of Pong, which has become quite famous recently because of Instagram, of course. But it's so unassuming. So we drove there from Ihimia Khan, and the route that Google Maps takes you from, you end up in the middle of a market, and all you see is a tiny door. So it was. So I was like, okay, maybe it's exaggerated on Instagram or whatnot. But when you enter, so then you ask around, and people are like, oh, use a side door. When you enter from the side door, it's this huge mosque hidden inside of a marketplace,
A market.
basically.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was a personal mosque of the people who lived right next door. So their thinking behind the mosque was, if we live in such palaces and mansions, then the house of God should also be even better. So they've got actual gold paintings, and when we went, there was restoration going on. So they had someone come in from Multan, whose grandfather had done the painting initially, to restore it. And this place even has the Aga Khan Award for architecture, actually. So
That is
Wow.
really cool.
I'm sure.
it's like a hidden gem.
It's a hidden gem. Wow, I did not know that. The more you know, guys. She knows more about architecture than me, and I'm the one who's studying architecture. It's interesting to know that. Yeah.
Oh man, okay, I don't often plug
So-
stuff that Saad does, but Khadija, Saad actually has a video where Saad, you recorded Vav Village, right, when you went there with Jamal once, and
Where?
it's basically Vav.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's got like this beautiful mosque, and it's near like Wakand, but then it's got like much older, bigger houses. Like our friend's house was essentially it had this big courtyard, and it was surrounded by the actual house, and then it was different units for
Rooms.
different parts of their family, and it was one of the like few like buildings where you see like regular people's like culture that has disappeared over time. So yeah, definitely, I'd say check that out because it's super
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
So we were actually staying at someone was kind enough to let us stay at their farmhouse.
Mm-hmm.
and it was like we were in the town. It was like I think 15-minute drive away from the main town even, or from the bazaar.
Mm-hmm.
And it was this huge house again, with the
Mhm.
whole cricket, like they had a whole cricket pitch inside the garden, and
Uh-huh.
Oh wow.
it was something. We cycled
Mm.
through the fields. We even
Mhm.
biked,
Yeah.
and we so they have like a sugarcane farm, so we drank
Mm.
fresh juice, and then we
Wow.
saw the whole goal making process and all that. So it is. I mean, you know how people say that immerse
Wow.
yourself in the local experience when you
Yeah.
travel. It is so true, but it is hard to get that because you do need connections. You do need people who are willing to sort
Yeah,
of
I'm
show
sure
up,
it's
you know?
hard to. I mean, I think it's really cool that you ended up there, right? Like that's not something
Yeah.
that like anyone could do by themselves, especially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, you know, a lot of these travel bloggers talk about immersing themselves in the experience. And I'm like, yeah, but you have PR teams and you have people who are open to welcoming you because you are a travel blogger. And it's not
Yeah.
like that doesn't happen with everyone. So we were lucky because we are technically for now, we are just anyone.
Mm.
That's,
But here's the thing,
that's-
Khadija.
That's fair.
But here's the thing, Khadija. The barrier to entry to being a travel blogger is so low. Literally, you should just have a phone and an internet connection, and you're automatically a travel blogger. So, I'm just saying, all these people need to do is just go up to a few people, a few locals, talk to them for like 5-10 minutes, and maybe one of them might just invite you to, you know, spend a day at their house, and then you can have that cultural experience that you're talking about.
Yeah.
I think it's all about you know
that
just
happened
talking
to
to
us
as many people as you
in
can.
Gwadar.
Yeah, what happened? Like, tell us that
We
story.
ended up having tea at some lady's house. Yeah.
That
That's
is
cool.
nice.
So and that was also early in the morning, like 6 a.m.
Yeah.
We'd gone around to see like the old town of Gwadar, and ended up in this old forgotten colony of sorts. And you know,
Yeah.
we were poking around, looking at buildings and stuff. And this lady was kind enough to come
Yeah.
and say that, you know, our house is still the old architecture. So she took us in, and it was, you know, their ceilings are apparently of wood, and like these
Yeah.
tiny wood beams like crisscrossed over each other,
Mm-hmm.
because I guess of the
Crisscross
water or
wood,
something,
yeah.
they can't have cement.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so they still had that. And she said, we recently got it renovated, but we still kept that because that's the only thing that seems to work and to last. So it was, you know,
It's quite literally Drops of Culture, which honestly is the best name. I don't know how you ended up with that name, but it was a perfect choice.
Yeah.
Like
I
from
love
the
the name.
start.
I love the name. It's so
thank you
catchy.
much.
It's so catchy. It's better than the 2 time zones, guys. We should have taken lessons.
Dude, but
No,
also
this just came
we
about as
we don't have enough culture to call ourselves Drops of Culture, but something along those lines
Khadija,
maybe.
but 2 time
Literally.
zones. I like the name as well.
Khadija, literally in the last
Thank you.
episode, Salman and I were literally talking with our guests, and we were like, how uncultured we are, how we are so away from our roots. We don't talk about any of this stuff. We don't like this guy straight up doesn't even know his own language to begin with, for the most part.
I mean,
And
I technically I do. Technically I
What
do.
is
bro,
Salman's
but
language?
like
Urdu.
Urdu.
I mean, you've heard me speak
Salman
Urdu.
knows Urdu.
Ah.
to,
No,
you know,
not
get by,
really.
which
Yeah.
is which is true for all of us.
Get by. Get by.
I mean, I feel like these burgers in Islamabad, which I am 100% a part of, have zero links to Urdu. You know, we grew up being laughed at for speaking Urdu. We were scolded in schools for speaking
Kasme.
Urdu. So of course we don't know how to speak
Kasme.
it. And then
Finally, someone
Yeah.
defending us.
we're not first language English speakers. So except for Salman, none of
Yeah,
us
yeah,
knows
of
English
course.
well enough. So
Yeah.
really, I have
Yeah.
sometimes I literally have no words in any language.
Wow,
Shit.
that's
Whoa, dude.
it's a
this
very
woman is dropping
profound way to
knowledge
put it. Wow.
It's quite profound. This is quite
Dude, like,
profound.
okay,
I'm not
I'm
expecting
taking
to take
this
this
in,
route.
but like, if it was 7 a.m. for me, I just would not be able to handle this. I'd be like, I'm going back
But
to
it's 8
sleep.
a.m. now, so it's fine.
It's 8 a.m. It's 8 a.m. now. So Khadija, what's the one place that you think that Pakistanis who don't really travel a lot within Pakistan should visit? Like hands down, that the one place that stands out to you.
Or that they don't know about,
Apart from-
maybe.
apart from the usual?
I feel like, again, with Instagram, a lot of these places are getting traction now. So,
Mhm.
like places in interior Sindh, places in interior Punjab,
Mhm.
a lot of people still visit that. I think one place that people don't, and one place that we even didn't, is Thar, because it is a bit further away.
Thar.
So, for example,
Yeah.
Thatta and Makli and all these places, they're like an hour
Mhm.
away from Karachi, an hour,
Yeah.
2 hours. So you can make a
Yeah.
day trip out of it. But to go to Thar, I think
Mhm.
even there you need connections.
Mhm.
And it is, I mean, even there, if you can immerse yourself in the culture, I feel like it would be the best experience ever. I saw someone had
Yeah.
posted about a safari sort of thing that they'd done in Thar, and it was,
Mm.
you know, it was out of this world. So, but
Mm.
what she'd attended was that people had set up tents specifically for the event, you know, people were comfortable and
Mm.
whatnot, but that's not always the experience that you get traveling, especially in interior Pakistan.
Thar. Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
I don't
speaking
know
of
if you
Thar,
saw our Sehwan video.
I haven't seen it.
Right.
Continue, then I'll talk.
So we booked a hotel with the STDC, which is the Sindh Tourism Development Corporation. And I mean, you know,
Mhm.
coming from Europe and Shazib coming from Canada, we're absolute noobs at this thing. So we
Mhm.
booked online,
Mhm.
and we got an email confirmation,
Mhm.
and we're like, oh, it's all good. We'll go there. We'll stay at this nice place.
Mhm.
We reached, and the place was under renovation.
Oh
And
my
like 30
God.
minutes after we reached, we
Legend.
got an email saying that your reservation is cancelled. So we had to go roaming around, and it was Thursday night. So everyone's
Yeah.
there for the dhamal. It's busy, it's
Uh-huh.
packed. We found a guest house. We went there, we sort of unpacked, and the guy's like, oh, I thought you were someone else. This room is already booked.
Oh my God.
And a lot of these places don't even have
Oh.
beds. They have shared bathrooms. And it's so finding a proper room was a task at 10 o'clock at night.
Mm.
So when you
Especially,
travel to
yeah.
Pakistan, such things are bound to happen.
Wow.
That is
Okay.
that is actually
and
a really
speaking
nice
about
story.
your travels, so earlier you were telling me about how you used a dash cam to record. And when you said the word dash cam, you put
Yeah.
you put quotes up.
Yeah.
What was happening there? What dash cam did you use to record?
So this is our dash cam. As you can tell, it's a tissue box.
Tissue box.
Now,
Do you put your
Sindh
phone in
is
there?
famous for dacoits. Yeah. So we've got like a nook here for the charging port, and then we've got a old box in here with a camera slit, and the phone went inside here, and we closed it, and then went inside here, and then this was just like lying on our dashboard, throughout the journey.
That is genius.
Yeah. So this was Shahzeb's idea, to make sure no one takes away our phone. It was like an old Moto G that was just lying around.
Yeah. That is
That's pretty
very smart. That is very smart considering when I went to Swat and I tried to take a few time-lapse videos. After every Naka, the army would be like, "Put your phone away. We don't allow recording in this area," and all that. So that is very smart. I should have thought of
Yeah,
something,
so
something like that.
We've captured things that we shouldn't have, and while editing videos, I have to be really careful to make sure that I don't even speak of those things.
Guys, on this
Okay.
podcast,
Especially
we're
when
getting an
you're traveling to
exclusive.
Balochistan with the dash
We're getting an
cam.
exclusive on this podcast about the blasphemous stuff that Khadija's got.
Oh no! I want to stay alive, please. Thank you very much.
Yeah, of course. You don't want a black Vigo showing up outside your house. None of us want that.
Oh my God.
Khadija, speaking of Tar, speaking of Tar, I have this friend. She's my senior. She is doing her architectural thesis in Tar. She's creating like this complex. I forgot the function of what it was, but like she literally went to Tar. She stayed with the locals over there. She understood their culture. She understood their needs, and she created like a complex or a living space or whatever it was. I don't really remember, but like that is what she's working on right now. And her building is. And her forms are amazing because she has made it for Tar, so the forms and everything are very low lying. They're very widely spaced for more air circulation and all that, because you need that in Tar, considering the hot climate. she even told me that Tar is one place that you have to visit because it is so underrated because not many people go there. She's like, it is filled
Yeah.
with culture. It's so unique.
Yeah, and I love that's one of the reasons I feel like we need more graduates from Pakistan
Yeah.
and people who understand Pakistan, right? I mean, again, this is something that's been bugging me for so long, is that even when we study geography, it's not necessarily our own geography. So we don't understand our own crops, we don't understand our own climate, we don't understand, our architectural needs. So what she's doing is absolutely amazing. And kudos to her for doing that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think like another similar point is how a lot of new houses have like floor to ceiling windows, or you have like big glass structures like skyscrapers, especially in like Karachi, and the climate's just not right for those.
Not
Like
suited
those
for that.
are
It's
those
just
look
not suited
nice,
for that.
but it gets really
It's
hot.
not New York.
It's really sunny.
Yeah. And aside from the climate, the culture's not suited for that. You've got boys playing cricket in the street. Why would you want to come and break your glass like every week?
Oh my!
I'm just saying.
I'm
man,
sure that's happened to
we are
someone, though.
we are so whitewashed. We're still in that colonial mindset, guys. We cannot design according to our own spaces. But hopefully that will change. Hopefully,
But I mean,
people from my
change is here,
generation,
as you can see
architects from my generation will be there to create that change. And I think, Salman, we're done on that bombshell, guys.
I know. I
20
think that
minutes.
was like
That was quick.
a really
was
good
quick. It's
conversation.
always quick.
It always goes by super
Yeah.
fast.
Quick and easy. Nice.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
very
guys.
last words.
Like and subscribe.
Hold up, Saad. Hold up. We can't end without an ending question. So I want to know, you also mentioned traveling outside of Pakistan a lot. And what's the country or city that you were surprised by, or that you went to that people don't often go to, that you'd like to, just call out?
We went to China back in 2007,
Ooh.
which was
wow.
So it was empty of tourists. Not many people spoke English. You needed to have a translator with you. And we even we started with the part that's right next to Pakistan, which is Urumqi, and you get PTV there. And a lot of the population is Muslim there, and so it was interesting. That was one of the most interesting things I had seen.
That is really cool.
I see.
All right.
So guys,
that's super nice.
So guys, go to China. Yeah. And on that bombshell, guys, we are done. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much, Khadija, for coming on. Peace. Adios.
Thank you
Goodbye.
for having me.